In 1950, a fierce conflict erupted on the Korean peninsula, marking the first major war of the Cold War era. The war began when North Korea, backed by the Soviet Union, invaded South Korea, aiming to unify the country. South Korea, supported by the United Nations and led by the United States, quickly mobilized to defend itself. The surprise attack pushed South Korean forces all the way down to the Pusan perimeter in the southeast corner. In September 1950, General MacArthur launched a bold amphibious landing at Incheon, changing the tide of the war. This daring move allowed UN forces to break the North Korean advance and begin pushing northward. UN troops then crossed the 38th parallel, the pre-war border, and advanced deep into North Korea. But this progress alarmed China, which feared an American presence too close to its borders. In late 1950, Chinese forces entered the war, driving UN troops back in a fierce counteroffensive. What followed was a brutal stalemate near the 38th parallel, with devastating battles on both sides. The war saw innovations such as jet fighter dogfights and extensive use of tanks and artillery. At home, the Korean War intensified Cold War fears and led to a surge in military spending worldwide. Peace talks began in 1951 but dragged on for 2 years amid continuing heavy fighting. Finally, an armistice was signed in 1953, creating the Korean Demilitarized Zone, or DMZ, still in place today. Though the war ended in a stalemate, it profoundly shaped global politics and military strategies. Millions of soldiers and civilians died or were wounded, leaving a legacy of pain and division. South Korea eventually grew into a booming democracy and economy, while the North remained isolated under communism. The Korean War reminds us that global tensions can ignite local conflicts with lasting impact. Today, the DMZ is a symbol of unresolved conflict yet fragile peace on the Korean peninsula. Understanding this war helps us grasp the complex history of the Cold War and its echoes in modern geopolitics.